Robert Langdon is searching for a series of clues that will lead to the path of illumination that will take him to the spot where the Illuminati has regrouped to finally get its revenge on the established church. The path of illumination is marked by the four elements of science: earth, air, fire, and water. And Bernini, that crafty sculptor that he is, has decided to put them very surreptitiously, very mysteriously, in sculptures and fountains and statues in ways that only a man with a degree in symbology could discern. That is what Robert Langdon is doing, and he's got to do it before the stroke of midnight and the election of a new pope. Well, in fact, Robert Langdon is probably public enemy number two. I don't know who number one is at the Vatican, but he is public enemy number two. And he is reluctantly brought in because no one can interpret these symbols as well as he does. Now, there are members of the Swiss Guard, there are members of the church hierarchy itself that are very vociferous in their defense of the church's standings, of the work that the church does. And sometimes Langdon is asked point blank, "Are you with us or against us?" And he answers kind of like snakily, "Well, sir, that depends on what you mean by with us or against us." But that raises the stakes of, I think, the whole theme of what the story is, which is faith versus science. In some ways, the established church history versus the grander history of the world. And the loggerheads that, say, for Chartrand and the Swiss Guard have with Langdon as soon as he walks in makes for every scene being quite juicy. The Camerlenga who speaks with the authority of the papal office before letting Langdon into the archives, which is loaded with sacred texts as well as cool cars. He says, "Do you believe in God?" Now, that can be a difficult question for a lot of people to answer, not the least of all an academic and a scholar who has not only studied the symbols of theology throughout the world, but also the concepts of God from the beginning of recorded mankind to the end. And I think Langdon answers it as only a true academic scholar, science/artist could possibly answer it, which is a highfalutin version of "that's beyond my pay grade." I think the audience will react to the horse race. Quite frankly, I mean, bad things are happening to people on the tick of a clock, and at the end of it is a very important moment in time, which is the naming of a new pope. Whether you are a Catholic or not, whether you're a believer or not, just as you are for a citizen of the world, the naming of a new pontiff is an opportunity for a brave new era of human consciousness. I mean, that guy's a powerful guy, and he's going to come in with opinions and ideas. So when you want to pay attention to who is going to be named pope, and it would be a very bad thing if it were to be possible for that election to be hijacked by somebody with an ulterior motive. That is what is hanging in the balance. So in a lot of ways, Angels and Demons is the world's most important treasure hunt, and all the audience is going to be involved in trying to see Langdon, solve the complex Sudoku puzzle that the fate of the world is hanging on.